I was always interested in the ocean, and I wanted to do something that involved interesting science that was useful, ideally sort of linked to policy, to actually managing resources. And so I started off doing a degree in sort of biology with mathematics, and as I was doing that, I was talking to my professors, and they suggested for someone with that bent I should have a look at fisheries, and that's how I got interested in fisheries. So I did my first degree in biology with mathematics, and my master's research on the dynamics of infectious diseases in fish populations. So I looked at how viral diseases spread through fish populations. And then my first real job involved working as a fisheries advisor for the British Overseas Development Administration in Southeast Asia. And so I started working on improving fisheries management in systems that are very important to poor people in developing countries. And that really got me interested in the human side of fisheries management, and so it made me understand just how important fisheries can be, and also how important it is to manage the people who use fisheries. Inquisitiveness, if that's a skill, would say that's the most important. I really want to understand what makes things work and how management systems in fisheries can be improved, and it always starts with taking a really hard look at how the systems work. Other than that, quantitative skills have been very important, so I use mathematical modeling and statistics quite a lot. And people skills. I work a lot with people because in the end we're managing people, not fish, and so being able to interact with people in many different settings and to understand both on a day-to-day basis and from a scientific perspective how people behave and how you can influence the behavior of people has been very important. Very important because right now we're getting about 20% of our animal protein from aquatic resources. That includes capture fisheries and aquaculture, and both that proportion and the total volume of those resources that we take are bound to increase as the human population grows and becomes more well-off. And so it's one of the really important challenges that we face as humanity. How do we manage the oceans and inland aquatic systems so that they meet our demands for food and for recreation without destroying those systems through overuse? The outlook is very, very good for highly skilled fisheries scientists, because as our demands on aquatic resources increase, so does the demand for fisheries science, for the ability for us to work out how we can use aquatic resources better without destroying either the resources or the ecosystems they depend upon. And those jobs will be in a wide variety of organizational settings. So there are state, federal agencies, there are overseas of aid agencies, there are non-governmental organizations increasingly employ fisheries scientists, of course there are universities. And so I think the outlook is very good, particularly for graduates that have specialist skills that are in high demand, such as stock assessment, quantitative methods, human dimensions, being able to work on management systems, resource economics. So there are a wide variety of skills that are very important. It's important to get both a breadth of the subject and depth in particular areas. So you want to understand the ecology of aquatic resources, the economic and social aspects of those who use those resources, the governance systems, law. That's one side of it. And the other is that really you should develop some specialist skills in some area where you're the expert. So that could be in quantitative methods, it could be in economics, it could be in sort of molecular techniques, that are important to study, say, the genetic makeup of populations or diseases in aquaculture. So I think it's very important to have both the depth and the breadth of knowledge in particular areas. Well, other than that, get out, get experience, work alongside people who do the sorts of jobs that you might like to do. When it comes to doing research in your master's or in your PhD, make sure you engage with important problems and learn skills in advanced methods.